Jordan, thanks so much for coming in. We appreciate it. We'll get started with Jordan Hicks. We have microphones on both sides of the room. Who has the first question for Jordan? We'll take our first question. We'll start right here in the middle.
Charles Harmon, Minnesota spokesman recorder. How are you, Jordan?
I'm doing well. How are you?
All right. We know that there's a handful of black pitchers in the majors, a handful of blacks in majors, period. Was you ever discouraged about pitching? Because we know sometimes blacks who come into baseball, they don't get the pitch. They get switched to different positions. And just talk about just that and the significance of playing on this field that Negro Leagues players played on for years.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up as an outfielder, had a good arm, and ended up throwing pretty hard. So, I started throwing hard, so I got on the bump, and then after that, the rest is pretty much history. So, but about being here and what it means to me is just being black in baseball, like you said, half black, half white. It's just one of those things. I never even thought it would be an opportunity to be in this position, play at this field, but the fact that it's finally here, I think it should continue. I think it should be a tradition, and there's a lot of history here. I'm just happy I could be a part of it and enjoy this experience with representing the Giants.
It's standing on the riser in the back, Jordan.
Obviously paying tribute to the late Willie Mays. He was a light not just on the field but also off of it. How can people be more like him?
Be a baller and be the best human that you possibly can be, from what I've heard. I never really got to meet him, but the stories speak for themselves, I'd say. One of the greatest all time on the field, and then as a human being, I've heard nothing but like amazing things. So to even get close to Willie as good of a human as he was would be just half of him would be awesome.
Go to your left, Jordan, with Steve.
What's going through your heart and mind because of the history? What's going through your heart and mind being on the field, being mixed race yourself? I'm sure there are lots of emotions. Tell us what's going on in your heart and mind.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would have been an insane experience to pitch here. I think I would really have felt it probably 10 times more. But just walking around and seeing all the history and all the names in the clubhouse and everybody that's passed through, for me, it's something special. So I can't really put it into words exactly, but I'm just very blessed to be in this position and be able to represent. Yep.
Go standing in the riser to your right, Jordan.
Jordan, how special is it for you having played for both teams that are involved in this game?
Yeah, I mean, I was drafted by the Cardinals in 2015. It was my home, and now I'm with the Giants. A little short stint in Toronto. Now I'm with the Giants, and it's two teams with really great histories. So just the fact that they're both here and the fact that they were both teams I was a part of, it's pretty cool, pretty special.
And the fifth row, left center aisle, Jordan.
Hey, Jordan.
Hey.
Willie's Hall of Fame plaque was in the clubhouse earlier today. His image and likeness and number is all over the place.
Yeah.
How much do you feel his spirit with you guys right now today?
Yeah, I mean, we just had a team meeting. Bo Mel went over some of the stories, and he said he knows that he's here right now, and I felt it just in his words. So I'm just excited to see how this game goes and just really feel everything on that field. I think that's when it's really gonna hit home for me.
Go to the fifth row on your right, Jordan. Oh, Elliot, do we have the right mic?
You got a big voice.
I can, yeah, oh, here we go. I found a switch. Jordan, when the schedule came out and you looked down to see when you all might be playing the Cardinals the first time, what's the reaction when you saw that it was here, and how excited are you going to be to pitch at Busch on Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, when I saw the schedule and I found out that we were playing the game here at Rickwood and against the Cardinals, it just felt like it was almost meant to be in a way. Who set this up? But yeah, I'm really excited to pitch on Saturday. Really get to see it from the other side of Busch Stadium, and I know the fans are great. I know I've seen how every ex-player comes in, and this first-class fans. So I'm excited. Maybe not about the heat as much, but playing in San Francisco is a little cooler. But I'm really excited for the experience of being on the other side.
Go to Maria right up front.
Hey, Jordan. I think the entire team rolled in wearing the Birmingham jerseys. Just how did that idea come about, and what did it mean to be able to honor Willie in that way?
Yeah, I don't know how the idea came about, but I thought it was really cool to wear the hat and the jersey onto the bus, and then I think we're allowed to wear it on the plane too. So I think it's really cool to honor him that way. And I don't know if the Cardinals came in with any uniforms or hats or anything, but I thought that was pretty cool.
Go to the second row on your left, Jordan.
Hey, Jordan, obviously a lot of hype behind this game leading up to it. What changed actually getting to be here and walk into the stadium today? How did that feeling change for you? Did it hit you differently?
I've been asked that a few times. I think it's actually going to hit when the game starts, and like seeing those lights and just feeling the whole fan experience. Not the fan experience, but feeling the fans behind you, and just I think that's when it'll hit for me. So maybe after the game, check back, and I'll let you know.
About 5 rows back on your right, Jordan.
Hey, Jordan, so how much did you know about the Negro Leagues growing up, and how much have you learned in the last couple years or even weeks with the incorporation of the stats and just preparing to come and play at Rickwood?
I would say in general, like I didn't even watch that much baseball growing up, but one of my biggest inspirations, I played all sports, but one of my biggest inspirations was Jackie Robinson, and what he meant to the game and what he means to me. Like I wrote all my papers about him, and I feel like he kind of paved the way for us, and it's I don't know. It's hard to talk about sometimes, but I just feel like I wouldn't be here without all the sacrifices that have been made, and yeah.
Anything else for Jordan? Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Love your shirt, by the way.
Thank you.
Very appropriate. We will start right here in the third row on your right.
Mike, generational for you to be here on the field. What's going through your mind? What's going through your heart?
I mean, going through my mind is I'm incredibly lucky to be here right now. This is a monumental game, and I think it's incredibly important for the entire country to know how important Rickwood is to the history of the game and what came through here. In my heart, grateful, just really excited to be a part of this game and to have the opportunity to step out on that field and feel the aura that has been growing for longer than any ballpark that's ever been made here.
Go 5 rows back on your right, Mike.
Hey, Mike, so in 1965, your grandfather, Carl Yastrzemski, was the last person to get a hit off of the legendary Satchel Paige. Satchel Paige also once pitched against your great-grandfather, Carl Sr., in a semi-pro game in Long Island, and of course, Rickwood is the field where Satchel Paige dominated with the Birmingham Black Barons. So knowing this historical context of your family's connection to Satchel Paige and to Rickwood Field, what is it like to be here and kind of feel all those ghosts?
They feel like the memories feel like they're coming to life. It's not something that I got to experience, obviously, but it's a piece of history here that I do get to experience. And so to be able to be here, to be watching what's going on behind the scenes, seeing how hard everyone's working, it makes it more important and it makes it special. And that's something that I'm grateful to every person who's worked so hard to put this on, and obviously to MLB for having this game. So just really lucky to be here. Yeah, I think I do, but I think there's bigger things that are going on here, and there's a bigger message that needs to be portrayed. And there's a little piece of me that is enjoying that, but there's also the bigger piece of me that's understanding the historic monument of this ballpark.
The left center aisle, Mike.
Hey, Mike. Jordan was just telling us that Bob kind of met with you guys and shared some stories about Willie in the clubhouse. What did that mean, just having it be here where he played and grew up? Does it take on any additional, special meaning?
Yeah, I've kind of been thinking about this since hearing the news of him passing and trying to gauge what's going on, and I've kind of come to terms that I believe that it was for a reason, so that he could be here spiritually, he could be here with us, and he wasn't going to be able to make it otherwise. So as much as it hurts to lose a legend like that, we gained an angel and a saint above us to be here for this series. So it is very, very special, and I think everybody here feels that.
Do two more for Mike. On your right, Mike.
Hi, Mike. I'm curious what your first meeting with Willie Mays was like. I'm sure you've had a couple of them, but to explain the first one in the Aub, just kind of meeting him and how that went down.
Yeah, he used some really, really strong adjectives to describe my grandfather's heart of play, and he made sure that I knew how hard he played the game, and he loved that I did my best to emulate that, mentality. And, the funny story I have is he would tell me he couldn't really see the game, but he could tell that I wasn't supposed to be in right field at the time, that I should have been playing center field. So that was the biggest compliment that I could have gotten from him. So, I shrugged it off and said, I don't care where I play. I just want to be on the field. So, and it was special to hear that from somebody who is arguably the best center fielder to ever play the game.
We'll finish up in the center with Steve.
Hi, Mike. Thanks for talking to us. It sounds like you've taken this game to heart. It's a bit more than a game for you tonight, more than wins and losses. Can you talk about what this game means in your mind beyond the sports world? And you talked about the message. What is the message tonight to the sports world and beyond the sports world?
I believe that the message is to show how meaningful this ballpark was. There were things that happened in this ballpark that people need to know about. They need to know about where Willie came from, because he left a legacy in the game that is also so far beyond the game. You have a guy who was a no doubt easiest Hall of Fame ballot of all time. You'd go and talk to him in the clubhouse, and he would never mention a single thing about his career. He would never talk about how many home runs he hit, how many diving catches he made, how many games he saved, unless you provoked him to do it. He'd be talking about your career, how you can get better, what can you do to impact your community. And that's the message that needs to be portrayed here, is that this is the stadium that legend came from. And he's one of the most important people in the game, and the story needs to be told.
All right, beautifully said, Mike. Thanks so much for taking the time. Thank you.
Cool. Thanks, guys.